You want to know my favorite part about Apple reporting earnings? It wasn't flooded with the word AI. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing Thursday. Now, maybe that is why Apple isn't the sexiest out of the Mag 7 companies, because it doesn't slap AI and that headline and that name and that over investing possibly in your face. With that being said, Apple reported one of its best earnings ever. It is up 2%, and that was after its guidance call. At one point, I think it was up almost 5%. I know it hit 4%. Slowly has given some of that back. NASDAQ market, if I'm not mistaken, is still holding into the green. But with that being said, I wanted to share with you some of the biggest takeaways with Apple reporting earnings today and its earnings call. Again, my goal with this video is for you to learn something new. And if you feel like you did that at the end of the video, all I ask you to do is drop a thumbs up and subscribe if you feel like I earned it. That being said, yes, Apple and the push that we saw today nearly broke all-time highs. At one point, we were trading at highs of 284.60 with its previous highs of 288. Now, does that make Apple a really good deal at these levels? No, I wouldn't say, necessarily in the short term. No, it's still overextended. If markets pull back, Apple's likely to pull back. But again, if you were already invested, like myself, again, my entry price is in the hundreds. So I had no intention of selling. If it pushed up 5%, if it dropped 5%, it would have made really no difference for me. With that being said, what did they report? So first off, they reported better than expected earnings for both EPS and revenue. 2.01 with, I think, expectation was like $1 and what was it, like 99 cents, something like that, 98 cents. And then overall revenue was in the 111.2 billion, a 2.1% beat. Now, what was announced in the guidance call? That's what I want to quickly highlight. Apple just reported Q2 earnings. Revenue, 111 billion. Expectation, 109. Beat. EPS, beat. Gross margin, beat. Expectation was 48. I want you to pay attention to this. 48, reported 49. Great. Dividends, 27 cents per share. Yes, if you own Apple and you just own it for a long period of time, especially when they release their dividends or pay their dividends, every share that you own, you get 27 cents per share. Cool, right? It's a great way where you're invested into a company that gives you back or pretty much pays you in dividends, right? Segment breakdown. iPhone revenue was essentially the only miss. 56.99 billion, a little shy of the expectation of 57.2. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Service revenue, better than what was expected. 30.98 versus 30.39. Mac revenue, 8.4 versus 8.02, big beat. Wearable revenue, I was surprised by this, 7.9 versus 7.7. iPad revenue, 6.91 versus 6.66 was the expectation. Greater China revenue, big beat, 20.5 versus 19.5, almost by an entire billion versus expectation. Capital return authorized, this was big, an additional 100 billion in stock buyback. This is huge. In my opinion, instead of over investing into AI and just kind of letting the other companies, overspend, Apple's like, we're going to maybe focus a little bit more on buying back up to $100 billion worth of our stock. While it's trading at all-time highs, it's not that they have to buy it right now, but they can buy up to that, and I thought that was pretty cool. Apple beat across the board and expects for a slight iPhone miss tied to supply constraints, not demand. So other notable items, CEO Tim Cook says that iPhone misses, the demand was off the charts for the actual iPhone, right? Demand was off the charts. There was just a little less flexibility in the supply chain at the moment for getting more parts. Obviously, if you take into consideration, the logistics issues of what's been going on between China and the US and supply chain issues, for sure, right? The iPhone 17 family chips are made of the same TSMC chip manufacturing technologies as many leading AI chips. Mac sales were boosted by the new MacBook Neo, a $500 model targeting students, and analysts believe that could help Apple crack the $20 billion lower price laptop market dominated by Google Chrome. Again, this was a big beat for them. Apple gross margin expansion came despite higher memory chip prices. So again, Apple's gross margin expansion came in higher despite memory chip prices were higher, right? Helped by the company's massive buying power. Money talks, right? Apple's incoming CEO, John Ternus, takes over from Tim Cook in September. The iPhone 17 family and MacBook Neo were both spearheaded by Ternus. Nice. On Apple Q2 2026 earnings call, Tim Cook said that, again, we talked about this, the supply shortage for the MacBook Mini and the MacBook Studio will continue for the several months. So again, maybe that might spook some investors. Cook attributed the demand to customer interest in agentic AI use cases like OpenClaw, which outpaced Apple's own forecasts. So again, everything internally, the thing that I love about Apple is that they're not only focused on services, which obviously have huge margins, but even their products are still selling. I mean, are you seeing huge growth quarter after quarter after quarter? Maybe not like some of these tech companies that see like 75% growth, from quarter to quarter because they're just growing. But again, we're talking about a company that makes a ton of money, right? If we look at this overall business, it's a company that makes $117 billion of net income a year, $434 billion in revenue. P ratio, although it still trades at a $4 trillion market cap, 33.8 times its earnings. It's high, but not that high. Again, it's really cool to see that out of all the Mag 7 companies obsessing about AI, now again, it didn't have the best price performance after it reported earnings, but it reported one of its best earnings without having to wave the AI name in front of investors' face. I thought that was refreshing. Maybe it's just me. I'm just so tired of all these overvaluations of AI. I love how cash rich Apple is, how consistent they are, and how not bothered they are by everyone else. Do I think it's a super, super good deal right now? No, not necessarily. On the macro outlook, I think everything's kind of expensive. But nonetheless, anytime that this thing sells off, I would love to buy more Apple. It's just such a well-ran money printing machine. I have nothing but good things to say about this. Again, that's just me. On top of that, if you tuned on into our live session today, after Apple reported earnings, you saw me take profits on my short on SanDisk. Very happy to do so. Left myself with my one lucky share, made $5,900. And again, we're ready for tomorrow's live trading session. I hope to see you there. If you want to tune on in for our live trading session right at market open, we'd love to kick off the month of May with you. It's the second link in the description down below. There's a huge discount there for you. So whenever you're ready, we'll be there. Appreciate your time. Hope that earned a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team, and happy Thursday.